Okay, my name is Stacy George. On the ballot, when I run for office, it's Stacy Lee George. Always Stacy Lee George. My podcast that this should come up under, it'll be under a subtitle of, it'll be under a main title of Stacy George, which is my YouTube, but it should come up as a podcast, the first one episode under the preacher or the politician. It should be the way it comes up, and you can Google it under that. So this is the first time I'm putting this out. What I'd like to say is this is who I am. I was born in 1969 in a small town called Ryan, Alabama. That's where I resided at that time. But I was born in Arab, Alabama. I grew up we were just average people, middle income. My dad was paralyzed when I was 12 years old. He worked about 3 jobs, worked at 3M Company, a factory, driving a truck, running a bulldozer, a bunch of different things. And he was a very good man, and he helped everybody, okay? But our life changed when I was 12, and he was paralyzed from the waist down after trimming limbs for a neighbor. He landed on a top ground root, bruised his spinal cord, and paralyzed him from the waist down the rest of his life. So my dad, by him, that changed our life at that point. So I had to get a job at age 12. My sister was a little bit younger than me, several years. But it was just my mom, my dad, who was paralyzed. My mom took care of him. She'd never worked a job because he always worked. So my sister and me, I just got a job at 12 pulling weeds at a nursery. But we made it. We eat the commodity cheese. We was raised pretty poor after that. But we never really done without. You know, of course, Dad got disability, Social Security.
You had a lot of help from people.
Had a lot of people that in the community that really helped us, that loved my dad. And my dad had always helped people. And even after he was paralyzed, he continued to help people, mow yards and things for a living. After he was paralyzed, he'd mow yards for everybody. Wore out all kind of lawnmowers with hand controls on there. So he still helped people, and people helped us. And we made it. So I grow up. I get a job at Wiley Laboratories in 1987. Meanwhile, I'd worked for a construction company after I was pulling weeds at a nursery. At Thrower's Nursery I worked. Then I worked for Sutherland Construction up till I was 18. I graduated high school on a Friday night, went to work at Wiley Laboratories in Madison at age 18. Everybody went to the beach. I wasn't mad. I just went ahead and got me a job and had a job before I left high school. At that time, you weren't on your parents' insurance like they are now. So I had to get a job to get health insurance pretty quick at that moment. And so that's what I did. I worked there 10 years in one day and locked my retirement in at Wiley Laboratories, partial retirement. And I tested missiles. I did a lot of things while I was there. I even sold insurance during that time for Modern Woodman Insurance. So I went through that process, worked for NASA, Department of Defense, testing missiles. I worked for SCI, Teledyne Brown. I was there with my customer, Boeing, Lockheed Martin, all these companies here. Like I said, I worked for NASA, Department of Defense. All those things was contractors. We did contracts for them. I worked in nuclear power plants in Arkansas, Louisiana, too, as a VT3 inspector on the pipelines. During that time, like I said, I sold insurance for Modern Woodman part-time too. I worked there, 1997. I got a job working for the Department of Defense at the Amtech Corporation, stationed at Test Area 2, Building 4500. During that time, I was testing missiles, Hellfire and Longbow missiles, different things of that nature. And it was really good. I did that for a few years. Then I got frustrated and ran for office in Morgan County. Couldn't buy land in Morgan County. I wrote a book about that later in life. Published it about 2020, 2021. called Let Stacey Lee George Do It. It's on my website right now. But you can look it up, Walmart, wherever. And it tells, Amazon, Books A Million, just Author House, a bunch of different. Let Stacey Lee George Do It. It's my book. Anyway, it tells the story kind of what I got up to here. Served 2 terms as county commissioner of Morgan County. First Republican elected since Reconstruction. Run for political office many times. And right now, I'm getting ready to run, hopefully, get the signatures to get on the ballot as an independent in Alabama.
For governor.
And for governor of Alabama, independent candidate. And I got to get 43,000 signatures because I'm going to be focusing on 43,000. So today is, was it the 4th of January today?
Mm-hmm.
And tomorrow will be the 5th, and I'll be going out for the next few months every day, just like a job, getting these signatures. And I'll be going all over Alabama. But I want to tell you that a lot of people don't know me. And I've told you a little background, and I could tell you a lot more things. I worked 13 and a half years as a correction officer at the largest prison in Alabama, and I go around and speak right now about the Alabama Solution movie. I'm in the trailer as well. Substitute teach at a school, still on the teaching list to substitute teach. So I did that for 2 years. Farmer, did grow cropping where I was. So produce. Let George Do It produce. Started a few businesses after I left the prison. 13 and a half years there. Told the story. I really want to get on to who I am though. I've told you a lot. I really wanted to stay focused on just, that tells you more, but I don't want to leave nothing out. But the main thing is that by the way I was raised, I just love people. My dad taught me how to love people. And he probably loved people more than even I love people. But I love serving people. I love my community. I love justice. I don't like crooked politicians. I don't like crooked people. I don't like people to be treated wrong. I don't like to be abused. I was made fun of when I was a kid because I had buck teeth. And I had to get braces. And finally, they didn't make fun of me anymore. But I was made fun of when I was a kid. And I was like, I wouldn't want anybody to be made fun of. My best friend was special needs, Daryl, my cousin. And I just love people. I always have. And so besides all these things I've done, I've always had a passion for loving people. And in my book, I tell all these things. And you can get all the details from that in my book if you want to do more details. But this is why I'm doing what I'm doing. I didn't wake up one day and say, I want to be governor of Alabama. As a matter of fact, my wife knows that I really don't want to do this. And I know that makes no sense to nobody listening to this. I really want to do ministry because we do ministry too. And my wife is, she got her master's degree in Bible and theology. We work regular jobs too, but we really just focus on ministry most of the time. But I prayed and fasted for 5 days, and the Lord said that He really wanted me to do politics and preaching. That's sort of where this actually really ultimately derived from, is the preacher or the politician. That's this podcast. And you can do both. That's what the Lord told me He wanted me to do. And He never tells me whether I'm supposed to win or not win, but I see a path of victory this time as an independent. I don't line up perfectly with the Republican Party or perfectly with the Democrat Party. I line up more with the Republican Party, except really on prison reform, and really by the way I've been raised on disability Social Security when I was a kid. I can see the struggles on both sides of the spectrum, all sides of the spectrum. And I think that's what makes me a real good candidate for politics. I'm not afraid to mix Jesus Christ in politics, because if it wasn't for Jesus Christ, we wouldn't have politics. We wouldn't have anything. We wouldn't have the Declaration of Independence. We wouldn't have anything. 1776, July 4, 1776, we set up things, it was one nation under really one God. And we respect other religions in America, but in Alabama and America, we're one nation under one God, and we're under Jesus Christ, the blood of Jesus. That's where everybody has a problem. But it's where our protection is. And I believe that with all my heart. I don't just run around with Jesus during election time. I run around with Jesus for years now. And it's part of my life. And I'm going to run around with Jesus whether I win or whether I lose. And if somebody needs salvation, healing, or deliverance, I'm going to pray for them while I'm out here. That's what I do every day. No matter what I'm doing, whether I'm the janitor at the school, or I'm testing a multi-million-dollar missile, or I'm a correction officer in a prison, or I'm a county commissioner, what I've done in my life. It's all backs up for the last 11 years. It's just really been focused on Jesus. And since I married Karen, she has really helped me come along my walk with God. And I've learned a lot through the Kevin Zadok ministry that I'm a part of, the chaplain program. I'm going to school to be a chaplain. As far as that goes, Karen's got her master's degree. She should get her doctorate degree before the end of the year. It's been amazing.
With God willing.
Yeah, God willing. But we're just normal people. We're in middle income. I'm not rich. I'm not running to be rich. I'm running to have influence over Alabama, over counties here, over just influence to where we can do the right thing when nobody's looking, just like in the movie, The Alabama Solution. I'm in there, and it's pretty much, it tells you a snapshot of who I am. My book tells you a snapshot. You can Google Stacey George and see prisons, Alabama. You can see I've been in politics for years. I just love people. When people say, why don't you give up? I say, I'm not going to give up. Because God continues to do what I pray. I pray 1 Chronicles 4:10. Been doing that for years. And he's expanding his territory. And he's using me to do it. And he's using you and other people that are watching this video to do it. And he uses us all in different ways. And everybody talks to me all the time. I hear so many people say, I'm not in politics. I don't do politics. And you should just do ministry, not politics. Well, let me tell you something. God spoke to me several ways. And I'm supposed to be in politics. So I can't run from my calling. And I don't expect you to run from your calling. And I try to support people doing their calling. And I ask you to support me in my calling. And so that's what I need, is people to look at me and go, hey, he's not giving up because he can't give up. Because he's just doing what he feels like the Lord wants him to do. And the Lord uses me in some strange ways sometimes. Sometimes I'm a wrecking ball. I've destroyed things. I've destroyed some bad things in politics. And I'm going to destroy some bad things in this politics. And I'm not looking forward to it. Because it's messy. But during that time, we're going to formulate something in Alabama that's different. We're going to have a hard-working man, a hard-working people in Alabama that loves people. I love you. I really do love you. I don't even see you. But that's what the Bible tells me I should do. I'm supposed to love the God, Lord thy God, with all my heart, and love my neighbors myself. And if we'd do that, if the politicians would do that, we'd be a better place if they really believed that. And I really do believe that. I believe that God puts us on earth and he writes a book about us. And not many of us get there. And I've struggled getting there myself. We all fight. And we fight an adversary called the devil. He doesn't want us to meet or achieve anything for God or Jesus Christ. He just wants us to be detained, happy on earth. Just, he don't really want us happy, but he wants us content so that we don't work for the Lord. But
Stay in your comfort zone.
Stay in the comfort zone. But I've never stayed in my comfort zone very long because the Lord leads me out of my comfort zone. And tomorrow I start going all over the state. This is January the 4th, right, Karen?
Yes.
So January the 5th, I'll be going everywhere. Probably start out in Albertville. I don't know where I'll end up. I don't even know if I'll be there tomorrow, but I'll post where I'm at. But I need your help. I need your prayers. I need your support. You can look up my website. Let George Do It for Governor.com. If you Google Stacey George for Governor website, you can find this thing. It sounds wordy, but in all honesty, I feel like that's what the Lord wants us to label this thing. And that's what we do. You need to watch the movie, The Alabama Solution movie, not just because I'm in it, but because what is in it. And it's somewhat of a controversial movie, but it's necessary. And God's using this movie. But let me tell you what he's doing. He's using us And as I get out here and walk through here, I love people, and I'll do anything I can to help you. And I've always had a pattern of trying to help people in some way, form, fashion, whether it be helping with money or whatever, helping praying for them.
For free.
I do a lot of things for free. And Karen, she don't get on to me for it all the time, but she does get concerned at times because I use a lot of my resources, and my dad always did that. So it's hard for me to charge people for anything I do, okay? And it's hard for me to, and I should. And I'm probably going to have to start doing some of that to where maybe, but God always takes care of me, and He always has, and we always have more than we probably deserve. And but we're just hardworking people, middle income. I don't have the same scenario as anybody running for office, but I've worked so long that God's elevated my name identification, and through this movie it's even higher. And we have hope to win this election and put somebody like you in office. And that's what we need, is people like you and me. Now we need people from all walks of life. We need, in my cabinet, you'll have people, poor people in my cabinet. You'll have very wealthy people, a few of them, and a lot of middle class people. Because there's a majority of us pay out the majority of the taxes. We're middle income. And I'm here to try to figure out all the issues that's going on. Now, I know a lot of them, and I could bore you with some of them. But if you elect me, you're electing somebody like you. And where the problem comes is most of us look at people like us and think we can't do this job. That middle income people can't serve in political office. It has to be an elite. You have to be rich, filthy rich most of the time. You have to be totally successful millionaire business person to do these jobs. All you need is people like that you can talk to. You don't have to know everything in government. You just have to know the people that you can trust to get good information from them. But really all you need in government, I've served there as county commissioner 2 terms. All you have to do is have good common sense. You don't even have to speak the English language real good. Because a lot of people, these politicians.
But you have a lot of experience, thankfully, to add to this. Is that you do have a lot of experience.
Doing a lot of different things. That's right. And
you have
Google
experience in a broad range of doing a variety of things.
And trying to do the right thing, even when it's
from serving in a government position.
That's right.
To doing substitute teaching, being a positive influence on the children.
That's right.
And even doing janitorial
That's
things.
right. Yeah, I'm not too good to do anything. I really enjoy that janitor job. Nobody really wants your job as janitor. And all those janitors out there, it's a hard job. And it's a lot of times you don't get much thankfulness, but it has to happen every day. It never goes away. And so I'm thankful from the janitors to the President of the United States. There's and everywhere in between. Everybody plays their part. And God can use you as a janitor at a school or a teacher, or He can use you as the President of the United States, or He can use you as the governor. But you just have to be willing, and you have to have no fear. The only fear I have is God. Because a lot of people say the things you do, you've got to be, maybe, they may even use the word crazy, because some of the things I do.
You do need a little bit of a thick skin, though.
You have to have a thick skin to do it, and it's been rough. I've lost a lot. And through politics and just life, relationships, it's been really rough. But I've been in this thing long enough, and if God would tell me to stop, I'll stop tomorrow. And I've said I'd stop before, and God just made me out to be just pretty much the telling a story that wasn't what God wanted. And He said, no, you're going to do this. So I'm in this thing, and I promise you, if I hadn't prayed up and had confirmation, I wouldn't do it. And I'm in this thing to help people for the right reason, not for the wrong reason, for the right reason. And if you'll help me, and you'll stick with me, and you'll pray, God will show you to help me. And what I mean by help is get the 43,000 signatures we need to get on this ballot as independent. Karen says it well. It's 43 times 1,000, or 1,000 times 43. So 1,000 people can get 43 signatures, and I'm on the ballot. Or 43 people can get 1,000, I'll be on there. Or $105,000, if I'd raised that much money, I could pay somebody to get these signatures, because that's been done before too.
There's several ways, and like you said, a large donation, or 105, 110,000, you can get a group of people to go out and get those signatures,
and I've got,
and then you could focus more on being able to show up and speak
and things like that. So for the next few months, I'll be this guy. You're looking at how I'll probably look. I'll probably wear my blue jeans, and I'll wear my tie. I've got suits. I got all this stuff, but I'm going to be out trying to get signatures from people, and just to say, hey, even if you're voting for Tuberville or any of the Republicans or any of the Democrats, you're not saying you're going to vote for me. You're just saying I have the right to be on the ballot in November, and I won't be in this primary. A lot of people will look for my name, say I didn't see your name. You're not going to see my name. But by May 19th, I get 43,000 signatures. I promise you, in November, you'll see my name. And I've never lost election in November, ever. I've won twice in November, never lost. If I make it to November, I'll be hard to beat, and I'll raise money because just the fact that my polling numbers will be pretty good once I get through this signature thing. But a lot of people don't think I'll make it. And you ask 3 political strategists, 2 of them will say, no, he can't make it. But there's 1 out of 3 that'll always tell you that don't mark me out of anything, because God's got his hand on me. And I know he wants me in this race. And I know he wants you to help me. And I pray that he convicts people to help me, because I can't do this by myself. A lot of times I've been able to do things by myself. You can go pay that qualifying fee, $2,300, $2,500, run as a Republican or a Democrat or whatever you run as, and you pay that qualifying fee and you can get beat, because the Republican primary is pretty much sewed up, and the Democrat primary is sewed up. So the only way to really run for the people, honestly, is run as independent. Is in my situation, because I've got issues on both sides that'll keep a straight party vote from me getting that straight party vote. But in the November election, I'll have folks from both parties come in and vote for me, and I'll have independents that'll overwhelmingly vote for me. And I'll win this race if I get to 43,000 signatures. And I'll raise the money to get there. But I have to get those signatures. And if you're looking for somebody that's the people's choice, they'll talk about it. People will talk about it. But I've lived it. I've lived it. People that know me. And I love people. And I always have. And I do things that doesn't make sense to people, because I do love people, love children. And I think that we can have a better Alabama. And I think we deserve better than most politicians. And even though I've been in politics a while,
family.
I love our family and extended family. And I even love people that don't love me back. And most of us do. We love a lot of people that don't love you back in life. But that's what we're supposed to do. God works all that out. So just pay attention to what's going on. Pay attention to God. Pray. And I think God will lead. I know God will lead you in the right direction. It may not be the direction you think you're going, but he'll lead you. May God bless you.
I just want to, they're probably seeing the shanks in the video. You might want to just say something about what
these are the prison shanks from Limestone Prison. We'll be carrying them around. Matter of fact, why don't you throw the camera around and we'll talk about some of the stuff. That's the sign. If you look at the sign that says, let George do it, it's Luke 4:18 and 19. You'll see signs on trees and parallel, just all over the state that's been put up last election. And we ran for a primary. So there's a, matter of fact, carry that thing around, Karen. You can show my book there too. That's my actual articles from the book that come in. I make no bones about it. I support Israel because that's God's chosen people. If you don't like Israel, you may not like me, but I support God's chosen people. Now, we're all grafted in, but that's what the Bible says. So you can argue with God on that one. I don't mean to be mean, but I make no bones about that. That's the movie we're in. And John 10:10, the movie came out on 10:10. And the thief, the devil, comes to steal, kill, and destroy, but Jesus came to give us life and life more abundantly. And that's what I believe. And I claim that life and life more abundantly. And I claim it over my life and your life too. And we're all in a battle. And everybody's battle is a little different. But if it's not a God, it's of the devil, or it's your flesh. And we have to overcome that with the blood of Jesus. And if I can help you, salvation, healing, deliverance, if I can help you in any way, I do that as I'm out. I'm always working for Jesus. I'm not always in politics, but I'm always about Jesus' business and the business of him. And Luke 4:18-19 is his business. That's his whole ministry summed up. May God bless you. May God bless Alabama. And may God bless the United States, and may God bless the whole world. That's what we want to do through ministry and through politics. And so this is the first of the politician or the preacher. You figure it out. Because I've been trying to figure it out all my life. But I believe we can do both.